Hi, hello everyone! I'm Toshi from Japan and tourist guide for foreigners. In this video, I'll show you
30 new entry updates for traveling to Japan in 2025. Traveling to Japan takes some planning. You need to know about visas and entry requirements, what essentials to bring, and how to take advantage of tax-free shopping and other money-saving tips. I've covered some topics in separate videos before, but this time, I put everything into one video. I'll be sharing 30 key updates to make sure you have all the latest information in one place. Whether it's your first time in Japan or you visited many times, this video will help you travel smoothly and enjoy your trip to the fullest. Plus, I also offer guided tour in Japan, travel itineraries based on trip duration and area, and recommendations for unique cultural experiences.
You can find more information in the description below. So, let's get started.
Before your entry to Japan, entry requirement info. Number 1, visa requirements update. Japan currently offers visa exemption to travelers from around 71 countries and regions. However, it's important to note that the specific terms, including the duration of visa-free stays and conditions, can vary significantly between different countries. What's more, the global COVID-19 pandemic has had a considerable impact on international travel. As a result, entry requirements have been subject to frequent changes, making it vital for travelers to stay informed. A noteworthy point to remember is that while Japan extends visa exemption to certain countries, there are nations like Peru and Colombia that recommend obtaining a visa. According to the official website of Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs, travelers from these countries entering Japan without a visa might undergo rigorous immigration scrutiny, potentially leading to entry denial. So, to ensure you're well prepared and up to date, I strongly recommend visiting the official website of Japan's Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
This source will provide you with the most current and country-specific visa requirements, ensuring a smooth and hassle-free entry into Japan.
Number 2, Japan's new ESTA. Japan has been expanding visa exemptions to make travel easier and attract more tourists. Right now, travelers from 71 countries and regions can visit Japan without a visa. But with that comes risks, like illegal entry and security concerns. To strengthen border control, Japan is considering a new entry system similar to the US ESTA. This means travelers will need to submit personal details, accommodation info, and travel plans for pre-screening before arriving in Japan. The goal is to identify potential risks before they even board their flight. While this system directly affects visa-exempt travelers, it's not all bad news. Once implemented, it could actually speed up the entry process, making immigration smoother. Travelers with approval may be able to clear immigration faster, avoiding long lines, especially during peak hours or late-night arrivals. Originally, Japan ESTA was set to be developed in 2025 and fully implemented by 2030. However, Prime Minister Ishiba recently announced that, due to the rapid growth of inbound tourism, the launch will be accelerated. If you're planning a trip to Japan in the next few years, stay updated to ensure a hassle-free experience.
I'll keep you updated with the latest updates, so make sure to subscribe to my channel.
Number 3, new Japan's visa. Japan is making big moves to attract remote workers and entrepreneurs. First, in April 2024, the Japanese government introduced a new digital nomad visa. This allows remote workers, freelancers, and IT professionals working for foreign companies to stay in Japan for up to 6 months. The best part, you can bring your spouse and children, making it a great option for those who want to experience life in Japan while working remotely. Many digital nomads love the flexibility to travel across Japan while keeping their jobs. On top of that, the government is actively improving support in 5 key areas, including connecting nomads with local businesses and expanding long-term stay options for families. Second, starting in January 2025, Japan expanded its startup visa program nationwide. This means foreign entrepreneurs can now launch businesses anywhere in Japan more easily. The program grants up to 2 years of residency, giving entrepreneurs time to meet the requirements for permanent residency. Unlike before, you don't need to secure an office, hire full-time employees, or invest 5 million yen before entering Japan. The government hopes this will drive innovation, especially in deep tech, and attract global talent to revitalize regional areas. With these changes, Japan is becoming a top destination for digital professionals and entrepreneurs.
If you've ever thought about working or starting a business here, now is the perfect time to make it happen.
Number 4. Japan Visa Suspension. Japan's popularity as a travel destination is skyrocketing, especially with the weak yen attracting more tourists than ever. But this demand is starting to create visa issues. One major example is the Philippines, where a record number of tourists are applying for Japanese visas. Due to staff shortages, the Japanese embassy there has now restricted visa applications. Processing times have doubled, and applicants are being urged to apply at least 2 months in advance. But this isn't just a Philippines-only issue. With Japan seeing a surge in visitors from multiple countries, similar visa restrictions could happen elsewhere. Japanese embassies are working to improve the system, but there's no clear timeline for when things will get better.
So, if you are planning a trip to Japan, apply for your visa as early as possible to avoid delays.
Number 5. New entry requirement. You might need a medical test. Japan has introduced a new entry requirement for travelers from certain countries. If you're staying in Japan for more than 3 months, you'll now need to get a tuberculosis test before you arrive. This rule is meant to prevent the spread of TB and applies only to travelers from specific countries, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Indonesia, Nepal, China, and Myanmar. These countries were selected based on past cases of foreign TB patients in Japan. However, if you hold a passport from one of these countries but currently live in a different country that's not on the list, this requirement won't apply to you. This kind of pre-entry health screening isn't unique to Japan. Countries like the US, the UK, Canada, Australia, and South Korea already have similar policies in place. So, if you're traveling to Japan from one of these 6 countries, make sure you get tested and have the required documents ready. Otherwise, you could be denied entry.
Stay informed and plan ahead to avoid any issues at immigration.
Immigration info. Number 6. New pre-clearance system. Japan is more popular than ever, but there's one big problem: long immigration lines. A friend of mine recently flew in from the US, and he had to wait over an hour just to get through immigration, and he's not the only one. With so many people traveling to Japan, the lines are getting longer, and the wait times are frustrating. To fix this, Japan has just announced a brand new pre-clearance system in partnership with South Korea and Taiwan. This means travelers will be able to complete their immigration process before they even arrive in Japan, making entryway faster and more efficient. Now, you might be wondering, why is this good news for everyone, not just travelers from Korea and Taiwan? Well, first of all, these 2 countries make up about 40% of all travelers coming to Japan. If their entry process speeds up, overall wait times will go down for everyone else too. And second, a lot of travelers from Western countries visit Japan as part of a multi-destination trip that includes Korea or Taiwan. If immigration gets smoother for them, it's going to make their entire travel experience a lot more convenient. The first trial run for Taiwanese travelers is set to take place at multiple Japanese airports between January and February 2025, and right now, Japan is preparing for full implementation.
Official updates should be coming soon, so stay tuned.
Number 7. Faster digital immigration. As I mentioned earlier, Japan is incredibly popular among international tourists right now, and that's causing major congestion at airport immigration. To address this, Narita Airport has launched a new digital travel pilot program using facial recognition technology and digital credentials. This system allows passengers flying with participating airlines to use their smartphone's wallet app to handle key steps like ticket purchases and digital travel procedures. With this setup, passengers can register their data in advance, enabling them to pass through security checkpoints and boarding gates using only facial recognition, no need for paper tickets or extra ID checks. Recently, a trial was successfully conducted between Narita Airport and Hong Kong Airport with Cathay Pacific Airways, and it's expected to make travel far smoother in the future. With Japan's tourism demand continuing to grow, This technology could significantly reduce wait times and ease congestion at immigration. While there's no official timeline for full implementation yet, it seems likely to be introduced in the near future.
I'll keep you updated with any new information, so please subscribe to my channel.
Number 8. New Biometric Immigration System. To help reduce long lines at immigration, the Japanese government recently introduced a new contactless fingerprint recognition system at immigration checkpoints. Instead of pressing your finger onto a sensor, you simply hold your hand near a camera, which speeds up the process compared to the traditional method. Not only is this faster, but it also reduces fingerprint recognition errors to less than 1/5 of the previous system. This means a more accurate immigration process, fewer illegal entries, and potentially improved security in Japan. This trial has already started at Haneda Airport as of February 2025, so if you're flying into Tokyo, you might experience this new system.
For more tips on navigating Japan's immigration process, check out my previous video.
Number 9. Faster Traveler Program. To help reduce long lines at immigration, the government has introduced a faster traveler program, which allows certain foreign travelers to use automated immigration gates instead of waiting in those long lines. I actually mentioned this in a previous video, saying Japan was considering an automated system for foreign visitors. But after looking into it further, I found out that some travelers can already use it. This system is called the Trusted Traveler Program, or TTP. If you qualify, you won't need to go through the usual immigration counters. Instead, you can just scan your passport and fingerprints at an automated gate and enter Japan much faster. So, who qualifies for this right now? US. Citizens who are registered in the Global Entry Program can use it. It's also available for short-term business travelers and even some tourists, as long as they, or their family members, hold a platinum or higher-tier credit card. Of course, there are a few requirements. You need to have a passport from a visa-exempt country, a clean record with no criminal history, and no past visa denials for Japan. If you meet these conditions, you can apply online to Japan's Immigration Services Agency website. The process is pretty straightforward. First, you submit your application online. If it's approved, you'll still need to go through regular immigration the first time you enter Japan. But after that, you'll complete a second step at a designated airport counter, where they'll check your original documents, take your fingerprints, and issue you a trusted traveler card. Once you have that, you'll be able to use the automated gates every time you visit Japan, skipping the long immigration lines completely. This is a game changer, especially if you visit Japan frequently or just want to save time and energy after a long flight.
If you are interested, check out the official website, linked in the description for more details.
Number 10. Online Service for Immigration. Visit Japan Web. Let's talk about Visit Japan Web, a service that simplifies immigration and customs procedures when entering Japan. By registering in advance, you can save time at the airport. But recently, I've been getting to common questions about this service. First, people ask, is Visit Japan Web still necessary now that the pandemic is over? The answer is yes. This service is not the same as the old COVID-19 vaccine app. It's designed to streamline immigration procedures for all travelers. Second, people are asking about fake apps and websites. And yes, there's a real issue with scammers. Some fake services ask for your credit card info and even steal your money. Here's what you need to know. Visit Japan Web is not an app, it's a website. If you've downloaded an app claiming to be Visit Japan Web, delete it immediately. Here's the official website URL. Recently, the Japanese government changed the URL to combat fake sites, so double-check you're using the correct one. Using Visit Japan Web is not mandatory, but I highly recommend it. Without it, you'll need to fill out a paper customs form and stand in longer lines. If you use it, you'll need to show the QR code it generates at customs. I recommend you take a screenshot of the code in case airport Wi-Fi is slow.
By using this service, make your trip to Japan as smooth as possible.
Important info to know. Number 11. Be careful for crowded season. I'm diving into a travel tip that could significantly impact your experience in Japan, avoiding peak vacation times for locals. Here's the scoop. Steer clear of periods when Japanese people typically take their vacations. Specifically, these bustling times include Japan's Golden Week in May, the summer holiday stretch, and the year-end, New Year holiday season. Japanese folks often have these breaks simultaneously, resulting in skyrocketing travel expenses and overcrowded tourist destinations. It's a time when everything seems to be bustling with activity, and the crowds might hinder the experience you're looking forward to. So, here's the advice for all of you planning a visit. Dodge these periods if you can. Doing so might just save you from the hustle and bustle, allowing you to enjoy your travels in Japan with a bit more tranquility and at a more reasonable cost.
For reasons other than congestion, please check my previous video about when to avoid visiting Japan.
Number 12. Be careful for arrival time.
When arriving in Japan, one crucial factor to consider is the time of your arrival. In Japan, it's important to be aware that public transportation, including trains and buses, stops running during the late night and early morning hours. This means that if you arrive late at night or in the early morning, you might find yourself without access to public transportation to get to the city or your hotel. To bridge this gap, you'll need to rely on taxis for your transfer. Now, it's essential to highlight that, as discussed in my previous video, Japan's taxi fares are known to be relatively high. This is especially true at major airports like Narita Airport in Tokyo, which is situated about 70 kilometers from the city center. Taking the taxi from the airport to central Tokyo can cost you around 25,000 yen. To avoid such high taxi fares, you might want to consider staying at nearby airport hotels if you have a late-night arrival. There are hotels that are not only more affordable than the taxi fare, but also convenient. Alternatively, you can explore budget-friendly capsule hotels for a unique experience. Another strategy is to avoid late-night arrival flights. By doing so, you can reduce the chances of facing these transportation and accommodation challenges. Remember, thoughtful planning regarding your arrival time can save both money and hassle,
ensuring a smooth start to your Japan adventure.
Number 13. Book your hotel in advance.
After completing your airport arrival procedures, one of your top priorities is making your way to your accommodation. However, there's a significant caveat you should be aware of. As I discussed in a previous video, Japan is currently grappling with the challenges of over-tourism. Additionally, Japan is experiencing a labor shortage, and this includes hotel staff. What this means for you as a traveler is that the demand for accommodations often outstrips the available options. The result: if you haven't taken the time to pre-book your hotel stay in advance, you could find yourself without a place to stay upon your arrival in Japan. In the event you do find a room, it's not uncommon for popular or well-located hotels to be fully booked, leaving you with limited choices. Even worse, the available rooms may come at a higher price or might not meet the quality standards you'd expect. To avoid these hassles, I strongly recommend that you book your accommodation for at least the initial days of your stay before your departure to Japan. When you book a hotel, I recommend Expedia or Booking.com. I have traveled to 75 countries around the world. Throughout my travels, I've relied on those two platforms. This holds true even in Japan, where utilizing these two platforms ensures a smooth travel experience. If you opt for Expedia, using the link provided in the description box helps support my channel with a small commission at no extra cost to you. Your assistance contributes to the creation of more content.
So, if you are considering utilizing Expedia for your booking, I'll be grateful for your support.
Number 14. Book Shinkansen in advance.
When traveling in Japan, unless you are staying in only one city, you will most likely take the Shinkansen for transportation. As I explained in a previous video, over-tourism is currently occurring in Japan, and there is a risk that you will not be able to take the Shinkansen on the day and time you want to ride. Therefore, in this chapter, I'd like to introduce the services crucial for your booking of the Shinkansen. The first is SmartX, enabling online reservations for Shinkansen from Tokyo down to Kyushu. This service conveniently covers popular destinations like Tokyo, Osaka, Kyoto, and Hiroshima, making it an all-encompassing solution. It's user-friendly. Simply download the app, input your details, select your route, seat preferences, and make the purchase. The second is Ekinet, This platform offers online Shinkansen reservations from Tokyo to the northern Tohoku area. If you plan to head north of Tokyo, Ekinet is your go-to. I recommend using their website for reservations because this service lacks an English app and has received not good reviews. The process is similar to SmartX. Register your details, search for tickets, choose your preferences, and proceed with the purchase. If you're eyeing a Japan Rail Pass or similar passes, press Purchase a Pass. Otherwise, hit Purchase Tickets. The flow from there aligns with SmartX's process.
Remember, it's important to note that these apps differ in the areas they cover, so choose based on your destination.
Number 15. Book activity in advance.
So, what do you want to do when you visit Japan? I get a lot of questions from my viewers about guided tour, cultural experiences in Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, and recommendations for travel itineraries. And here's something important you should know: many of the most popular activities and cultural experiences in Japan require advanced booking. For example, I personally offer a few unique experiences. You can try authentic Japanese home-cooked meals just like locals eat at home, experience a real tea ceremony, and taste freshly made matcha, or even take part in a traditional samurai experience based on real samurai culture from about 200 years ago. Also, I provide exclusive guided tour for my YouTube viewers. If you're interested, check out the link in the description for more details. Japan has so many amazing activities and cultural experiences, so make sure to plan ahead and book in advance.
That way you can enjoy an unforgettable trip to Japan.
Important info about what to bring. Number 16. Items to bring to Japan.
When traveling to Japan, it's essential to pack light. This will make carrying and managing your luggage easier and more comfortable, and you can avoid excess baggage fees on flights and trains. However, there are 8 must-bring items for every traveler to Japan, which I'll cover in this section.
These are essential items that you should definitely pack for your trip to Japan.
The first essential item to bring to Japan is clothing. Since clothes take up the most space in your luggage, consider 2 important factors. First, think about the time of year you'll be visiting Japan. Japan has 4 distinct seasons, each with different temperatures and weather. In summer, it gets very hot, so pack t-shirts and shorts. In spring and autumn, it can be chilly, so bring a jacket and long pants. In winter, it's quite cold, so you'll need a coat, scarf, and gloves. Second, consider the area you'll be visiting. Japan is a long country with varying climates. The northern region, like Hokkaido, is cold, while the southern region, like Okinawa, is warm.
The climate changes depending on where you go, so check the weather of your destination in advance.
The second essential item to bring to Japan is a portable phone charger. During your trip, you'll likely use your smartphone more than usual. You'll rely on map apps to navigate, translation apps to communicate with locals, and you'll probably want to share your experiences on social media. This increased usage means your phone's battery will drain faster than usual. In Japan, finding free phone charging stations on the go can be quite challenging.
So to ensure a smooth and enjoyable trip, make sure to bring a portable phone charger with you.
The third essential item to bring to Japan is a plug adapter. Different countries have different plug shapes, and Japan uses type of plugs, the same as in the United States and Taiwan. If you're coming from a country with the same plug shape, you don't need an adapter. But if you're coming from a country with a different plug shape, you'll need one. If you forget, don't worry, you can buy one at an electronics store in Japan. Also, Japan's voltage is 100 volts, so for some electronic devices, you might need a voltage converter.
However, for devices like iPhone and MacBooks that have global hardware specifications, you won't need a converter.
The fourth essential item to bring to Japan is a folding umbrella. As I mentioned in a previous video about the rainy season in Japan, it rains frequently in other seasons as well. Unlike the sudden downpours in Southeast Asia, it often rains all day in Japan. Without an umbrella, you might be stuck indoors all day, so it's essential to have one. In Japan, people quickly use umbrellas as soon as it starts raining, unlike in some Western countries. Many Japanese people always carry a folding umbrella in their bag. If you don't have one, don't worry.
You can easily buy one at a convenience store or a department store in Japan.
The fifth essential item to bring to Japan is cash. While Japan is moving towards a cashless culture, there are still many places where cash is king. Therefore, it's essential to always have some cash on hand during your trip. Fortunately, there are plenty of currency exchange locations at airports and throughout the city, making it easy to obtain Japanese yen. If you prefer using credit card cash advances, ATM are widely available across Japan, so you don't need to worry.
For more details on how to obtain cash and some useful tips, check out my previous video.
The sixth essential item to bring to Japan is comfortable walking shoes. Japanese cities heavily rely on railways for transportation, which means you'll be doing a lot of walking in and around stations, using stairs, and traveling to various attractions. Also, cities like Kyoto have many hills, making comfortable shoes essential for sightseeing. While high heels might look stylish, they are impractical for efficient walking. For instance, when I lived in the car-centric US, I walked about 3,000 steps a day, but in Japan, even on a standard sightseeing trip, I easily walk 20,000 to 30,000 steps daily.
Therefore, to keep your feet comfortable and enjoy your trip, I highly recommend bringing good walking shoes.
The seventh essential item to bring to Japan is a plastic bag and a reusable bag. In Japan, plastic bags are not free. Urban areas have supermarkets and convenience stores everywhere within walking distance. When I lived in the US, I needed a car to visit the supermarket about once a week, but in Japan, you might find yourself visiting these stores daily or even for every meal. Therefore, it's practical to carry these bags with you. Additionally, foreigners often find it surprising that while Japanese cities are very clean, there are very few public trash cans. You will need to carry your trash with you until you find a place to dispose of it.
To keep your bag clean, having a plastic bag is essential in Japan.
The eighth essential item to bring to Japan is a small bag. Japan has an extensive public transportation system, including trains and buses, so you will likely travel by car very little during your trip. This means you'll need to carry your belongings with you all the time. Additionally, as I explained in a previous video, Japanese trains during commuting hours can be extremely crowded. If you have a large bag, it can be not only inconvenient and bothersome to others, but also might make it difficult for you to board the train. Therefore, I highly recommend carrying a smaller bag and traveling light when going out in Japan.
This will make your travel experience more comfortable and hassle-free.
Number 17. Items you don't need to bring to Japan.
As mentioned in the previous section, to make your trip to Japan more comfortable and cost-effective, you should bring only the essentials. Bringing too many items will leave less space in your bag for souvenirs and may incur extra baggage fees on flights and trains. In this section, I'll highlight items that might be necessary in other countries, but are unnecessary in Japan.
By knowing what not to bring, you can travel lighter and more conveniently.
Items you don't need to bring to Japan are various amenities. Most standard hotels in Japan provide free items like shampoo, towels, toothbrushes, hair dryers, and so on. If you have favorite personal items, feel free to bring them, but otherwise, they're unnecessary and add extra weight.
However, if you are staying at budget hostels or Airbnbs, these amenities might not be provided, so always check in advance.
Number 18. Items not to bring to Japan.
Even if something is allowed in your country, it may be prohibited or regulated in Japan. If you bring such items, they may be confiscated at customs, and you could face penalties. In this section, I'll highlight 6 specific items you must be careful about.
Please make sure to check them before you travel.
The first item not to bring to Japan is meat products. Unfortunately, most meat products are prohibited, whether raw or cooked. This includes popular items like sausages, bacon, and pork jerky. I had a friend who bought a hamburger at an American airport, didn't finish it, and brought it to Japan, only to have it confiscated.
So, please be careful.
The second item not to bring to Japan is vegetables or fruits. These are prohibited from being brought into Japan to prevent pests and diseases from entering the country. Popular fruits such as apples, oranges, and bananas are also prohibited. Don't worry, you can easily find these fruits in Japanese supermarkets.
So fruit lovers can still enjoy their favorites while traveling to Japan.
The third item not to bring to Japan is medications. When I lived in the US, was amazed at the variety of over-the-counter painkillers available. However, even prescription drugs from the US can be subject to regulations when entering Japan. I've personally experienced buying medication in the US only to find out it wasn't approved in Japan, so I couldn't bring it. Additionally, recreational drugs, stimulants, and narcotics are strictly prohibited and can result in severe penalties.
I highly recommend you to check the official Japanese government website before your trip to ensure compliance.
The fourth item not to bring to Japan is counterfeit luxury goods. In Japan, counterfeit luxury items are considered intellectual property infringement and are prohibited from being brought into the country. Additionally, selling such items in the Japanese market is illegal and can result in fraud charges.
Please be aware of this and avoid bringing any counterfeit goods.
The fifth item not to bring to Japan is alcohol and tobacco exceeding the allowed limits. While you can bring these items within certain limits, exceeding them can result in heavy taxes or even confiscation. So, make sure to check the regulations beforehand.
Also rest assured that you can buy a variety of alcohol from around the world in Japan.
The sixth item not to bring to Japan is certain animal leather products. Japan adheres to the International CITES Agreement to protect endangered species, so items made from tiger, leopard, crocodile, and lizard skins are prohibited. Bringing or even possessing these products can be a serious crime, so do not bring them to Japan.
After your entry to Japan, must have items for traveling to Japan. Number 19. Get navigation app.
In Japan, there are navigation apps like Japan Travel and Yahoo Map available. But I highly recommend using Google Maps as it's an all-in-one solution. It works well in cities and countryside areas throughout the country. With Google Maps, planning your routes becomes a piece of cake, whether you're taking a train, bus, or any other public transport. Just enter your destination, and Google Maps will give you the best directions. It covers walking and public transportation routes, all starting from your current location determined by GPS. Besides Google Maps, Japan Travel is a handy app to have. It's created by Japan's major app developer, Navitime. What makes it stand out from Google Maps is its integration with great deals like the Japan Rail Pass. To use it, simply tap on the Tourist Pass section, choose the pass you're interested in, say the Japan Rail Pass, and see if it covers your intended routes in the search results. My foreign friends who visited Japan relied on Google Maps and Japan Travel during their trips.
Using those navigation apps is incredibly easy and convenient, and it will definitely enhance your experience in Japan.
Number 20. Get translation app.
In Japan, you might know that many locals don't speak English fluently, which can sometimes pose a challenge for travelers. That's where translation apps come to the rescue, and there are several to choose from, including Google Translate, Topago, and Depal. However, my personal top pick is Google Translate. I've had the opportunity to travel to 75 countries, and Google Translate has consistently proven to be a reliable companion. What sets it apart are its two standout features: voice translation and image text translation. The voice translation feature allows you to have real-time conversations with Japanese people. You can speak into your phone in your language, and Google Translate will quickly translate what you said into Japanese. The person you're talking to can respond in Japanese, and the app will translate the response back to your
Where's
language.
the restroom?
It's like having a personal interpreter in your pocket. The image text translation is another game changer. If you come across signs, menus, or any text in Japanese that you don't understand, you can simply open the app, point your phone's camera at the text, and watch in amazement as it automatically translates the text into your chosen language. It's incredibly handy for deciphering all sorts of information while exploring Japan. So, whether you're having a conversation with a local or trying to make sense of a Japanese menu, Google Translate is the versatile tool you need.
It ensures that language barriers won't hinder your experience in Japan.
Number 21. Exchange money.
Japan's embracing cashless payments, but there are still places where cash is king. For instance, when you need to load your Suica or Pasmo cards, it's cash only. So, upon your arrival in Japan, you'll want to ensure you need to have some cash on hand. Fortunately, you'll find currency exchange counters at the airport. If you want to get cash from an ATM, I will explain it in the next chapter. Here's a tip. The exchange rates at these airport counters can be less favorable. If you want to check the current bank rate, I recommend the currency converter app. Using it is straightforward. You select the currencies you want to convert between, then input the amount you wish to exchange. The converter will display the current bank rates, allowing you to gauge if the rate offered at the exchange center is reasonable. What's great about this tool is its compatibility with currencies worldwide. Therefore, it's not only beneficial for your travels in Japan, but also for trips in other countries. And it's a good idea to change only money you need. I think that 5,000 yen per person is enough. Once you're in the city, you can usually find better rates at local exchange places.
In Japan, getting Japanese yen is easy for you, so there is no need to exchange money at a disadvantageous rate before you arrive in Japan.
Number 22. Money withdrawal.
In Japan, international airports where foreign visitors arrive always have ATM. You can easily withdraw Japanese yen using your credit or debit card there. Of course, there are many ATM in the city as well. Fortunately, these ATM are multilingual with English, Chinese, and Korean options available. Now, you're all set to enjoy your trip without any worries about cash. Remember, there are some places where cash is king in Japan.
So a little bit of cash in your pocket can go a long way. Happy travelers!
Number 23. Wi-Fi and SIM card.
When traveling in Japan, having reliable internet access is essential. There are two options, Wi-Fi devices and SIM cards, both readily available at Japanese airports. You don't need reservations. Furthermore, in some airports, you can even purchase them from vending machines. Now, which option is better for you? Well, that largely depends on your travel style. If you're looking for cost effectiveness and convenience in terms of carrying, a SIM card might be the way to go. It easily fits into your phone, providing you with data wherever you go. And nowadays, eSIM is also popular these days. If you would like to use it, I recommend the service provided by Japan Wireless. If you use my coupon code, you can get 10% off. Please check out the link in the description. On the other hand, if you're traveling with a group of people, renting a Wi-Fi device could be more economical. Multiple users can share the same device, splitting the costs and ensuring everyone stays connected. If you want to use pocket Wi-Fi, I recommend the services provided by Japan Wireless or Ninja Wi-Fi. I also used them, and the initial setup was easy and the network was very good and convenient. Each company has discount coupons. If you use my coupon code, you can get 10% off. Please check out the link in the description. Finally, the choice between a SIM card and a Wi-Fi device depends on your needs and preferences.
Consider factors like the number of users, your budget, and your convenience to make the best decision for your trip.
Public transport info. Number 24. The best IC card for your Japan trip.
Train IC cards like Suica and Pasmo are essential for traveling in Japan. Not only can you use them for trains, buses, and subways, but they also work for shopping at convenience stores, supermarkets, and even vending machines. They make your trip so much easier. There are two types, Mobile Suica, which works on smartphones, and physical IC cards. If you're wondering which one is right for you, here's what you need to know. If you're an iPhone user, Mobile Suica is your best option. It integrates seamlessly with Apple Wallet, making it super convenient. If you're an Android user, your best bet is to get a physical Suica card. These are available at major train stations and airports like Narita and Haneda. Physical Suica cards were unavailable due to a semiconductor shortage since June 2023, but they are finally back on sale as of March 2025. There are also other IC card options to consider.
If you wanna find the best one for you, check out my previous video where I explain them in detail.
Number 25. No Japan Rail Pass.
Many of you might already know that the Japan Rail Pass became about 1.6 times more expensive in October 2023. And now, the big question is it still worth it? I get this question a lot. The short answer: if you're only traveling the Golden Route, Tokyo, Kyoto, Osaka, and Hiroshima, you don't need it. But if you're going to Kyushu or Tohoku, you might want to consider it. Let's break it down with real costs. The 14-day Japan Rail Pass is 80,000 yen. If you buy regular tickets for the Golden Route, Tokyo to Kyoto, Kyoto to Osaka, Osaka to Hiroshima, and back to Tokyo, it costs about 43,000 yen, which is almost half the price of the pass. Even if you take some local trains and add 10,000 yen, the total cost is still only about 53,000 yen. Some might think the 7-day pass is a better deal, but honestly, trying to cover the Golden Route in just 7 days is exhausting. It's more like a travel marathon than a vacation. So, if you're sticking to the Golden Route, you don't need the pass. But if you're traveling beyond, it depends on your itinerary. The key is to choose what fits your travel style best,
so you can save money and enjoy Japan to the fullest.
Number 26. Transportation from the airport.
When arriving in Japan, there are various transportation options available for getting from the airport to the city center. You can choose from taxis, buses, trains, or even special rapid express trains. The specific transportation options might vary depending on the airport you arrive at. For instance, at Narita Airport, you can catch the Narita Express, while at Haneda Airport, you'll find the Tokyo Monorail. These special trains are great choices, especially if you want a comfortable and efficient way to avoid crowded commuter trains. If you would like to take a taxi from the airport, I recommend the airport taxi service provided by Inbound Platform. By making a reservation in advance, you can ride without waiting. If you use my coupon code, you can get 500 yen off. Please check out the link in the description. For those looking for a more budget-friendly option, buses are also available. Finding the right bus route to your hotel might seem challenging, but with the help of apps like Google Maps, you can simply input your hotel's name for easy guidance. Feel free to choose the transportation method that best suits your preferences and budget. And if you ever find yourself unsure, the helpful airport staff will be more than happy to assist you.
Safe travels and enjoy your time exploring Japan.
Number 27. Luggage forwarding service.
When you land at a Japanese airport, the last thing you want to deal with after a long flight is lugging around heavy, oversized luggage. While some travelers opt to head straight to their hotel to drop off their bags, this process can be time-consuming, especially if you're arriving early in the day and your hotel check-in time is later. This is where luggage forwarding services come to the rescue. These services allow you to send your luggage directly to your intended destination in advance, eliminating the need to haul it around with you. For instance, if you drop off your luggage by 11 a.m., depending on the distance, same-day delivery might be a possibility. Even if you miss the 11 a.m. window, you can rest assured that your luggage will be waiting for you at your hotel the following morning. Traveling light has some benefits. Navigating through airports and public transportation becomes a breeze, and you can start exploring the city right after your flight lands. So, take advantage of these luggage services in Japan.
Enjoy your travels and explore Japan without the burden of heavy bags.
Important info to know. Number 28. Japan's tax-free shopping system.
Japan's tax-free shopping system is undergoing significant changes, and here's why. Recently, there's been a rise in foreign visitors exploiting the system by purchasing goods tax-free and reselling them within Japan for profit. To address this, the government is reviewing the system to prevent misuse. Currently, when you shop tax-free in Japan, your purchase information is electronically linked to your passport. You are required to show your passport at customs upon departure, but in many cases, this step is skipped. For example, in 2023, customs checked 57 visitors who had purchased over 100 million yen in goods, but only one had the items with them. The remaining 56 were asked to pay the tax, but 55 left Japan without paying. To tackle this, the government has announced for major updates to the tax-free system. These changes have both positive and negative implications for visitors.
I'll go over these updates in the next chapter, so stay tuned.
Number 29. 4 key updates to Japan's tax-free shopping rules.
As mentioned in the previous chapter, Japan's tax-free shopping system has some issues. In this chapter, we'll cover the solutions the Japanese government has recently announced to address these problems, the impact on foreign visitors, and the latest updates aimed at expanding the use of the tax-free system for tourists. And I've got 4 major updates to share with you. First, the tax-free system is switching to a refund-based process. Previously, you didn't have to pay consumption tax at the time of purchase. Now, you'll pay the tax upfront and receive a refund when you leave Japan. This is similar to systems in Germany or France and is aimed at reducing fraud. Second, the requirement for special packaging for consumables will be eliminated. This will streamline store operations and significantly reduce waiting times when shopping tax-free. Third, the 50,000 yen limit for tax-free purchases will be removed. This means you can now buy higher value items tax-free. However, for purchases over 1 million yen, stores will record serial numbers or identification codes for the products. Fourth, these changes will officially take effect starting November 1st, 2026. With these updates in mind, you can make the most of your shopping experience in Japan while avoiding any surprises.
Enjoy shopping smarter and tax-free in Japan.
Number 30. More Chinese tourists coming to Japan. Here is what it means for you.
More Chinese tourists are coming to Japan, and this affects all travelers, not just Chinese visitors. Here's why. First, Japan has relaxed visa requirements for Chinese tourists. As I mentioned earlier, Japan already offers visa exemptions to 71 countries and regions, and the government is actively working to attract even more tourists. But why does this matter to everyone? Japan is already struggling with over-tourism, and with over 650,000 Chinese tourists visiting Japan in September 2024 alone, this policy change could make it even worse. The proposed changes include longer visa validity, a simplified application process, and even visa-free travel for high-income Chinese tourists. So, expect a major increase in Chinese visitors soon. Second, All Nippon Airways, one of Japan's biggest airlines, has removed domestic flight fees for Chinese travelers. This means they only need to pay for an international ticket, and flights from major airports like Tokyo and Osaka to regional destinations are now free. This will drastically increase the number of Chinese tourists, not just in big cities, but also in rural areas. And here's my prediction. Japan may extend similar deals to other countries. The government has an ambitious goal to increase annual foreign visitors from 38 million to 60 million by 2030. So, your country might be next to receive visa relaxations or special flight deals. I'll keep you updated, so make sure to subscribe for more Japan travel updates.
How was today's video?
If you would like a personal guide in Japan or need recommendations for travel plans and cultural experiences,
Please contact me from the link in the description section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like button. See you in my next video. Bye!